What's up, everybody? I'm Sendai Mike. I'm a recording and mixing engineer. I work exclusively with vocalists, so rappers, singers, and spoken word artists. And today we're going to talk a little bit about vocal recording workflows when you're recording yourself at home. So workflow is super important because your vocal art is this creative, expressive medium, and a lot of times the recording process can sort of suck the magic out of that, sort of the emotion and the impact behind the art. And so that's why workflow is super important. And when you're developing your workflow for recording vocals, it's best to minimize friction. So you want to just make everything click and be as smooth as possible, and that's psychologically and technologically as well. And we're going to talk about some things you can do to help that today. So tip number one is get yourself like a wireless mouse and or keyboard so that you can set yourself up when you're recording so that you don't have to be pivoting in between your microphone and the computer. You don't want to be stopping every time, turning around to the computer, editing, going back to recording. It's just going to kill your vibe. So getting a wireless keyboard or mouse is really going to help you be able to set yourself up in a position where you can record yourself quickly without having to shift your attention away from the art. Tip number two is memorize your vocals. Now, I recorded in the last year over 100 rappers and singers, and I can tell almost immediately now when they are performing from memory or whether they are reading off their phone when they're recording. And the difference is very subtle, but when you're reading something you've written and recording it, part of your brain is tied up in interpreting the symbols on the page and processing that semantic information. And you want to free that part of your head up so that you can really be expressive. And memorizing your vocal is going to allow you to give the best performance possible. Now, I know you've probably seen a lot of videos of your favorite rappers in the studio, recording off their phone, writing in their notepad, recording off their notepad. And that's fine. It's all well and good. People do it all the time. You can get great performances doing it, but I guarantee you it will be better if it's memorized. Tip number three, this is more of a functional workflow for actually recording vocals, is a lot of home recording artists, they will record their entire take all the way through, play it back, see if they like it, decide, I wasn't really feeling that one. Then they'll record it again, play that one back. I wasn't really feeling that one either. Record the next one. I kind of messed up on one little part. I think I'll try it one more time. And keep recording over and over and over again until they're happy with the take. Now, there's nothing wrong with that method, but again, we're talking about workflow. We're talking about trying to minimize friction and just get in that flow state. And something I find really helpful for that is doing 3-take vocal comping. So you could do more than 3 takes, but for this example, we'll call it 3, is say you've got your first verse, you've got it memorized, you've got your wireless keyboard set up so that you don't have to shift your focus away. Now, you press play, you press record, you record the first verse. Now, without listening to it, you run it back, and on a new track or a new take, depending on what program you're using, you record a second take of the same verse. Then do it a third time. Record a third take of the same verse. So now you can listen back. You've got 3 takes of the same verse. You've memorized them so they all sync up nice. The performances are consistent. You were able to get into that flow state by recording it over and over again without having to shift your focus away. And listen to them back, and you can usually find one take that's going to be your favorite take, and maybe it's almost perfect. Maybe you've got everything except for one inflection point on one word you weren't really feeling. Well, now you've got 2 other takes with consistent deliveries that you can pull that word or that phrase from and put it into your favorite take. And you can do this for a whole song, 1 verse at a time, then do the hook the same way, then do the next verse the same way. And I find this is the best way for generating really professional, clean, consistent vocal performances when you're recording at home. So to wrap things up here, those are 3 simple things you can do today to improve your workflow, which will inevitably improve your recordings. And that is, set up your technical setup so you don't have to shift your attention. So buy yourself a wireless mouse and keyboard and set your mic up in a way where you can just work seamlessly and continuously. 2, memorize your vocals. Memorizing just gives a better performance every time, I guarantee you. And it really helps when you're comping your vocals, which was tip number 3. So you get to build your perfect take out of your 3 takes, which you have performed to a high level of consistency using the other workflow tips that we just talked about. Thanks for watching. We're gonna get into this way deeper in future videos, and I'm looking forward to hearing what y'all are working on. Be well.
I'm steering with my knees, rolling while I drive. It don't mean a thing when you know how to fly. And I've been feeling for a long time.